Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. I hope everyone is doing well. As always, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Make sure you do check out the Elevating Traders Discord channel, completely free to join. You can find out more information there, more details about Elevating Traders, and of course, you can share ideas if you're looking to trade different opportunities. If you want to share some, I share opportunities there as well. So if you are looking to see what other people are trading, share your own ideas, you can find all of that there and more in the Discord channel. Completely free to join. Link in the description below. Excuse me. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is well. What's up, Dev Carl? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Dark Sean, good morning. I hope you're doing good. GG previous day low. This morning start to push back up. Okay, looking just short again. But 193 was magic number and 120 pips. Nice. Big move there. Yeah, we'll take a look at GJ. First, we'll go through some USD pairs. As always, take a look at the DXY USD majors. Gold and silver, of course, we'll go through plenty of pairs. So any requests, drop it down in the chat. We'll take a look at them together. Of course, let me know any time frames you're looking to work in particular. Of course, we'll take a look at that. But yet, yen pairs did see a bit of movement to the downside yesterday. They were looking a little bit bullish on the stream yesterday. But we did have a bit of a move to the downside for quite a few of them. Yeah, so we'll go through the yen pairs. I'm still interested in a couple of them, which we'll take a look at as well. Good morning, Ahmed. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good, my man. What's up, Saini? Hope I'm saying that correctly. Good afternoon from this end. Nice. Still good morning over here, but good afternoon to you. So we'll go for the dollar. First things first. Yes, same old pretty much in terms of my directional bias. We've had a really big drop the past few days, so naturally just looking for a bit of a pullback and then some more downside. I'm still very much bearish on the DXY. We've had this massive range in the market for the past 2 years. Essentially looks like prices failed to sustain a break to the upside. And now, because of that, you would expect price to make a move to the lower end of the range, which is back at support here at 101. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, really. We're kind of 50% of that range, which is not really an area which I'll be looking to try and call bottoms or call tops. So my expectation is that the DXY is likely to continue falling and eventually go and hit 101. So the plan is very much looking for some upside for a pullback to keep shorting and expecting that momentum to continue, especially with the size of that weekly candle there. Such a big candle, which does signal a lot of momentum with the bears. Not like we kind of slowly push the downside. It's a very heavy, big weekly candle last week. So the chances are we do continue to the downside. It's just about how far do we pull back and can we catch that pullback and ride the momentum lower. So that's my expectation there with the dollar. And in terms of levels, I'm keeping a close eye on. There is a few. Looking at this area here, if we have a more kind of shallow pullback, that's probably where we could see price retest before continuing around 104.5. Or if we do have a slightly bigger pullback, I do like the low there as well, which is around 105.5. That would be a nice level to short from. Pretty sure it lines up with the 50 if I get the fib out. So from the high of that move to the low, yeah, more or less lining up pretty well with the 50% of that fib. So that's really where I would like to see the dollar retrace to. The only question is, do we have enough bullish pressure to see a move that big there for the DXY? Judging momentum, judging the size of that weekly candle, I think more realistically, we might see a pullback like this before continuing. If it's a bigger one, great. I'll be there ready and waiting. I also do like the low here just before we broke through. But yeah, I'm not too sure if we see a pullback that big, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, in terms of the plan, very much looking for pullbacks and more downside targets, long-term targets back down at 101. Euro USD, pretty much the exact opposite of that analysis. Expecting a lot more upside for this one. Again, we've got that same range there with Euro. Price tried to break through the lows, essentially failed to do that. Huge candle breaking us back inside the range. So naturally expect momentum to continue and take us back into resistance, which is roughly around 1.11, we'll call it. It's kind of like the middle of that range there. So expecting price to push back into resistance. So the plan very much is looking for pullbacks for Euro USD and then some buys back into that same level. So literally the opposite of the dollar. And again, in terms of levels I'm interested in, I do like the low here. Again, if you have a bit more of a shallow pullback, that's just probably an area we could look at for some longs. Depends how we get there, depends how we react. But that is an area I will be keeping an eye on. And also this area back down here, again, it's very, very similar points as I referred to in the DXY. Again, Euro USD and the dollar pretty much the opposite of each other most of the time. So the levels and the price action pretty much looks the same most of the time. And yeah, I'm expecting something similar there for Euro USD. If I whip out the fib from the low to the high of that move, you can see it lines up pretty well in between 0.5 and 0.618. So it would be a healthy retracement if we can get back down here. But most likely might see something like this happen before a move to the upside. So that's really what I'm looking at for Euro. Very, very bullish on this one. I like the price action, a lot of momentum in the market. So the odds of Euro continuing up is pretty high. There might be some selling opportunities for Euro as we do approach this supply area on the left. So naturally, the market is very, very extended, very stretched, and naturally you expect to see a bit of retracement. And you could potentially look to take advantage of that opportunity by looking to short the highs there for Euro. I'm not really interested because I expect the bigger move still to be to the upside. I expect the sell here to be a retracement, so I'd rather just focus on taking advantage of that bigger move, which is my expectation from my analysis. So very, very bullish on Euro, expect some retracement. The market's pretty stretched, but hopefully we can find some buys to take it back up again. Pound USD, I still like this one a lot. It looks very, very good. Really nice push to the upside. We broke through some structure on the daily chart, and this was a swing high, which gave us the low down here. Price has since then broken through, so that's an indication that, okay, from a daily standpoint, we're turning around. And of course, we did that with some really nice momentum as well. And if we zoom out, look at the bigger picture, you can see prices basically come back to respect this low here, which is a pretty significant low, as this is the low which gave us that new high past this point here. So technically, there is some bullish structure which the market is just about following, and potentially you might see another swing back to the high again if the trend does continue. So there is some upside opportunity there for pound USD. Of course, it's another USD pair. I'm very bearish on the USD itself, and euros look pretty bullish, and pound USD and euro tend to move the same way as well. So in terms of correlation, there's a good chance we do see more upside as well. But same thing for this one, waiting for a suitable pullback. I like the zone down here on the 4-hour chart. Nice resistance, really clean breakout, looking for price to come back and retest. We've got these high lows here on the 4-hour chart as well. First test down here, second over there, third. Would be really nice to see price pull back and give us another test of that area. Will it happen? I'm not too sure. Price is still very corrective, so I do expect retracement at some point. Would it be enough to come back and retest this level? I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see, but it might even be a retest of the high there. But this is really where the confidence lies, around 1.27. So that's really where I'm waiting to see if pound USD can get to. In terms of dollar CAD, still pretty bearish on this one. I'm still shorting this one from last week. It's been a bit all over the place, of course, with CAD. CAD weakness as well. So this is probably the only USD pair which hasn't really moved. Every other USD pair has seen some really big moves, especially last week. In fairness, we did see a bit of downside, but yeah, CAD being weak as well has caused a bit of upside here. But in terms of the technicals, which is what I'm trading, everything is still pointing down, so I'm still within the trade. The stop loss is still above the high there. I entered on that 4-hour candle there last week, Tuesday. And the targets are still back down at the low at 1.416. So my expectation is still more downside for dollar CAD. As long as price can hold this level here at 1.45, I will stay bearish on the pair. Of course, if we break through, I'll stop out and reanalyze from there on afterwards. But for now, still respecting structure. And again, the plan for the trade really is just, we had a big impulse here a few weeks ago. I'm looking at this as the correction, hence the pullback into the 0.5, 0.618 area. And now I'm looking for the continuation to the downside. So that's really the plan for the trade. And we'll see if we can get pushed back into the lows. So far, it's been a bit choppy, but hopefully we pick up the pace a little bit. In terms of Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar, still, again, very bullish on these currency pairs as well. Very bearish on USD. So naturally, I'm expecting the bigger move to be to be to the upside for these currency pairs. However, again, the price action doesn't look too great for the buys just yet. In terms of where we're trading, I like it because price, this is Aussie dollar on the weekly chart, really big level support. So there is that possibility for a big push to the upside. Looks like we're kind of struggling at some resistance just above us there a little bit. But if we can make a higher high, which is what I'm looking for Aussie dollar to do, because of course we had that lovely double bottom down here, price broke to the upside, high, potentially a higher low. What I'm looking for is a higher high, and then I'm looking for the pullbacks of that. And that will be the trade I look to take advantage of, because at least at that point, I've got some bullish structure which I can follow and base a trade from. Right now, this just looks like a ranging market that's stuck between some resistance and support. So I don't really have a safe place to put my stop loss or a good place for an entry either. Price to me looks like it's in the middle of nowhere a little bit there on the 4-hour time frame. So staying away for Aussie dollar, I do have a bullish bias to it, so I'm kind of waiting to buy it. But in terms of an actual bullish opportunity, it would probably be something like this that actually gets me into a trade. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. And then the USD, similar. I tried to say same and similar at the same time there. Similar thing here as well with USD. Again, if I zoom out to the weekly chart, as you can see, if you look to the left, really big support here. So again, the chances of a push to the upside are pretty high if you can respect this area, which so far we're doing a pretty good job of doing that. And the 4-hour chart is where things get just a little bit messy. Again, it looks like price is just moving sideways here, fluctuating between resistance and support. So no kind of real clarity in the direction on the lower time frames for the USD. So in terms of a decent trade, kind of waiting for price to break to the upside and then find some pullbacks and hopefully find a retest of a high somewhere. And that will be something I'll be looked to judge a trade from. But altogether, just not really the best conditions. Very sideways. Something like this will clean things up, and then that will allow me to find a trade at some point in time. In terms of gold, I'm pretty sure we had a bullish move this, had a bullish move this week. Strong push to the upside. It is looking as if price is just going to push back to the all-time high there at 29.56 and probably create some new highs. We've got 3K just above us there. That's a big psychological level. Could be seeing price attracted to that level there. Potentially, we've broken through some resistance here really well. Looks like that fake out has been used to the advantage of the bulls there. Strong break to the upside. So as I suggested the past few days, if you can see a strong break and hopefully get a retest, that could be a really nice trade to take it back into the highs and potentially further as well. At the moment, we haven't quite got the retest yet, so it would be nice if gold was to come back and retest that high. I like the consolidation here just below the range as well, so we might dip into that a little bit. Nice tightly knit consolidation before a really strong move to the upside. Potentially could see price even retest that before continuing. So I really do like gold longs. Again, the market as a whole, daily, weekly, monthly chart is still very bullish. So looking to buy is a safe bet, especially when you've got price action that looks like this on the lower time frames, especially after some nice momentum to the upside. So yeah, pullbacks on gold look good around the 29.25 area. And yeah, expecting new highs past 29.56. And in terms of silver, nice break to the upside as well. So for silver, I'm kind of waiting for a retest and some pullbacks because, as I've been saying with silver, I'm not interested in taking any positions until we break through resistance, which looks like price has just gone and done. So my expectation now with silver is a push back to the high there, 34.88. So yeah, as long as we can stay above this level, there's a strong chance we do get back to the highs there. So now what I'm looking at is a retest of this level for some higher lows and a continuation. And at least I can now base a stop loss from that point as well. But yeah, very bullish on silver. Looks like gold's about to create new all-time highs. So you would expect silver to probably be in a bullish phase as well. This would be a great area to base a trade from, put stops below, and hopefully take advantage of a nice swing. So just waiting for a pullback now for silver as well. Yeah, targets at 34.88. As long as we stay above this level, I'll be bullish. If for some reason silver comes crashing back below, then of course we're back to square one again. But for now, it's looking pretty bullish. So yeah, that's kind of my my take there for the USD side of things. Very bullish on gold, silver, very bearish on the USD, and just pretty much looking to short the USD pretty much against all currencies, apart from Aussie and New Zealand dollar. They're not quite ready yet, but hopefully that will change. Anyway, what's up, people? Welcome to the stream. Manzondi, hope you're doing good. Lighten, what is up? Hope you're well. Blessing, good morning. Yes, Euro Yen we'll take a look at as well. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Euro USD, I'm waiting for my H1K to flip, then I'll buy. Okay. Dollar CHF sell at the minute. Nice. Yeah, I didn't take a look at dollar CHF, did I? We'll have a look. But yeah, anything with USD, I'm pretty much looking to sell the dollar pretty much. Some pairs I'm waiting for a bit of a correction, but mostly just looking to short USD. Manzondi, no, my streams are aligned with the UK time. So I go live 10 a.m. UK time. Of course, it's a bit awkward because clocks change and stuff, and the US, they changed their clocks last weekend, I'm pretty sure. So it looks like the stream is an hour later, but it's not the same time as normal. The clocks in the UK will be going, I don't know if it's forward or backwards, which they're going a different way. So it will be lined up with the US again. But no, the stream is still the same time. What's up, Godfrey? Good morning. Hope you're well. Yes, we'll take a look at oil for you. No problem. Okay, we'll take a look. Philip, what is up? I'm doing good. Analysis on Bitcoin. Yes, we'll take a look as well. Ben, what is up? PLTR. Okay, looks ready for a bounce. What do you think? Okay, we'll take a look. Let's like the stream. Appreciate it, Ahmed. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It does really help out. And of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell too, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But first, I'll take a look at GJ for Dark Shell, and then we'll go through Euro Yen. And we'll take a look at some cryptocurrencies as well. Okay, so GJ 5-minute chart. What is happening? So you said you're looking to short Dark Shell, if I read it correctly. Start to push back up, hunting for shorts again. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, so we did have a bit of a sell yesterday then. Price did make a nice move. It looks like it took out that high. Okay, so it did push into 193. I remember you mentioning 193 yesterday, because we did have some resistance here on the left, which looks like price respected to the T pretty much and came back down pretty hard. So you're looking for another sell. I can see a nice range here with, of course, a lot of momentum to the downside. So possibly might be seeing a pullback into that, and potentially another reaction as well. So I can definitely see the logic there with some more shorts. I think generally speaking, shorts make the most sense because you're just in a bearish territory right now. The market's moving in a very kind of relaxed channel right now. So if I kind of whip out from the lows to the highs, you can see price has created 1, 2, 3 highs there, and 1, 2, 3 lows. And now price is respected the highs. So potentially you could be seeing another push back to the low. So primarily looking for shorts in this kind of area makes the most sense. And that range there does look quite nice as well. A lot of momentum, and price already pulled back into it. So yeah, I like the shorts between 192 and 192.250. That would kind of be my expectation there for pound yen. If we do break through that, then we're probably coming back to the highs on the left at 193 again, perhaps maybe a big double top. But if we can hold that, it could be a nice continuation this afternoon, or even in the next hour, to be honest. But yeah, overall, still not the biggest fan of the price action on the 4-hour chart. Very, very messy. So yeah, no opportunities on that time frame. But on the 5-minute, I do not mind that. I do not mind that one bit. Okay, let's go forward. Okay. Thank you, Ben, for clearing that up, mate. I don't really pay attention, to be honest. I let my clocks just automatically change, and I just go along with the flow. But yeah, thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro Yen for Blessing. So yeah, Euro Yen is a pair which I'm looking to get involved with. I actually missed an entry yesterday on this bearish engulfing candle. I was busy at the time, unfortunately. So I'm actually debating on taking this position on the daily chart. I don't normally enter trades in the daily time frame, but if I do miss the trade in the 4-hour chart, if things still look good and the risk reward is still decent, then I will take a trade on a daily candlestick as well. As long as, like I said, the risk reward looks good. I'm looking for a push back into support here for Euro Yen. Again, the idea is that we're looking for another lower high, so 1, 2, and potentially 3. So if I can get decent rejection on the daily chart, nice shift of momentum, I will look for some entries on the daily candlestick, stops above the high there and targets back into support. And hopefully I'll be able to stretch the trade a little bit further. So I'm expecting us to break the downside, but of course, that is definitely a very strong support level. So that would be my initial target for the trade, where I probably will take most of my profit. But my expectation is a break of that support at some point. Unless price does come back into resistance again. So unless we were to come back, excuse me, my voice is not wanting me to speak today. Okay, so hopefully. Okay, we're back. No, we're not. Let me get some water. Apologies, people. Okay, I think we're good. Hello. Okay, we're good. Yeah, that was annoying. So yeah, basically, unless price comes back for a double top, then there could be another opportunity there on the 4-hour chart. But if not, I will enter on the daily chart. But again, my expectation for Euro Yen is a swing back to 156. So very, very bearish in Euro Yen and still pretty much bearish across the board for the yen pairs, but just waiting for an opportunity to take a trade. If I was at the chart, probably would have entered there, stops above the high, seeing if I can take advantage of a big swing. The risk reward would have been pretty nice for that position as well. Looking at something like this, back into support. So it's like a 1 to 5, 1 to 6 potentially, maybe even more. So it's looking pretty good from that area. But I'll see if we can potentially have a second retest of that level. If not, then like I said, I'll enter on the daily candle if the risk reward still looks pretty good. But we've still got 10 hours before that daily candle will close. So a lot can happen in that time. But yeah, very, very bearish for Euro Yen. Expecting a low high to form and yeah, keeping a close eye on that area for some shorts. I'll go through BTC next. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. No, sorry, I'll take a look at oil first for Godfrey, then we'll go through Bitcoin. Ivan, what is up? Good morning. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Sold dollar CAD for entry 1.43. Okay, nice. Joining the team, joining the club. Nice head and shoulders on the hour. Entered in the retest. Okay, I'll have a look at that position as well. I'm still shorting dollar CAD, so I have a similar expectation to you. Holy one taken dollar CHF. Okay, we'll have a look at that as well. First, let me have a look at oil for Godfrey. So you said you're looking to. Is it looking to sell? Okay, you want to buy from 66.9 4-hour to the recent high. Is that okay, or what do you think entering on the 5-minute for confirmation? Well, again, there's no right or wrong. If you want to drop to the lower time frame for confirmation, or you're happy to enter on the 4-hour chart, of course, the benefit of using a 5-minute chart to enter is that you can refine your risk a lot and maximize your reward for the trade. So, of course, there's that benefit. Of course, in terms of the 4-hour chart, you won't be able to maximize your profits as much because, of course, your stop loss is going to be a lot bigger. But then, of course, the benefit of using the higher time frame is that you don't have to go intraday and look at more price action and make more decisions, which could potentially lead to more mistakes potentially. So it keeps things relatively simple because you're still looking at that time frame in the 4-hour chart. And potentially fewer losses as well, because intraday you have more fluctuation and odds of getting stopped out a little bit higher as well. So it's up to you how you wanna make that judgment. You can use the 4-hour, you can use the 5-minute. It's down to preference, really. But yeah, in terms of oil, where we're trading is really big support. So I'm expecting to see a bit of upside, even if it's just a slight bounce, kind of what you're expecting there. Even if oil is going to break through this zone, I do think we can see a little bit of a relief first before pushing up higher. We've been kind of squeezing between this trend line and that support level. So I'm expecting price to eventually make the move. Again, whether it's going to be something like this or something like this, I'm not too sure. But I think the time for a breakout for oil is prominent. We've been in this kind of wedge pattern for a while, so I do think the breakout will happen pretty soon. But at the moment, we're testing support so far, respecting it pretty well. So I do think we can see some upside there for oil. You're looking for a buy at 66.9. Let me drop to the 4-hour chart. 66.9, which is around there-ish. And your targets for the trade? To the recent high. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Are you talking about this area here, or are you talking about the high all the way over there? Yeah, let me know what you're referring to. But in terms of what I would expect for oil, I'll probably play it safer with this one. I wouldn't mind having a bigger target because potentially we could see oil push back to the trend line area. Although I would probably look to secure most of my profit as we come back into this area here around 70. Nice consolidation. Did see a pretty strong drop of that from that area. Perhaps could see another one. So I would kind of protect myself against that. Entries down at the low here look good. I like the wicks we're seeing at the lows here. So if we can get another rejection there, that would be nice. Get stop loss below that low and then target around 69.50, 70. I think that would be a nice trade to take, maybe a nice 1 to 2. And then you can always leave positions to run. Potentially, we do get back to the trend line. So then I'll try to maximize my winner by leaving some positions to run there. But generally speaking, pretty bullish there for oil. I like the rejection so far. In terms of entries, I would wait for price to have another stab at the support level before finding some entries. But yeah, I do expect to see a bit of a bounce there. 67.919. Okay. 67.919. Oh, okay. I see why you're looking to drop to the 5-minute chart. Okay, so your target 67.919. That's the high here. And then you're looking for some entries 66.9, which is around here. So you're looking to potentially catch a bounce from this area into the high there. If mistaken, let me know. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Not the biggest fan because the way I see the market right now is kind of in a bit of a weird kind of consolidation right now, kind of like a bit of a wedge pattern, like what we're doing on the higher time frames. So I wouldn't really look to try and take a break and retest there because we haven't taken out any major structure to the upside. If price did take out some highs like so and then had a pullback, then I'll be a bit more of a I'll prefer that trade a lot more. But because we're still putting in these lower highs here, yes, we could still very much bounce. You know, any trade could potentially work. But just because of how we'll be moving, I would not want to take a buy there just because it's in the middle of the range. My stop loss wouldn't really be in a safe place or safer place as it could be. Underneath these lows would be a much better option. So yeah, I wouldn't look for that position there just because it's in the middle of everything. Not to say it won't work out because it very much could, but I'd rather get entries close to the low here than take entries in the middle of that kind of range or wedge pattern. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice breakout. Price stalled there, strong break to the upside. So there's a good chance we could come back, retest support, and continue. So I can see the reason why you're looking to take the trade. I like the structure of things there. If I focus kind of on this part of the market, but looking at the context, it's just a little bit messy. So that's why I would avoid that level. But if it fits the plan well and it looks good to you, of course, take the position. But for those reasons, I would wait for price to come a lot lower first before trying to take a trade. Okay, so we'll go through BTC next. Okay, so Bitcoin, what's going on? Not much, actually. I haven't really moved much. I'm still pretty bearish for Bitcoin. Still looking for a push back down into this area here, which is 73,905. I'm still expecting another drop there for Bitcoin. Altogether, we've respected 90K very, very well. Really nice support, of course, since we've broken through. Had a couple attempts to try and break back above, but essentially it's held as resistance pretty well. So I am pretty bearish for Bitcoin. It looks like the US indices have sold off quite a bit as well, and the correlation between especially NAS and BTC has been quite high as well recently. So with NAS looking pretty bearish, I wouldn't be surprised if BTC stays bearish as well. But in terms of the technicals of BTC, prices held support, now turn resistance very, very well. And judging on the lower time frames as well, kind of broken through this counter trend line here too. So I do think there's a good chance we do roll over. Perhaps maybe price does come back and retest 90K. That would be a nice place for some entries. But in terms of the next move for Bitcoin, I do think it's likely to be to the downside. And we've got a lovely level here at 72K, which potentially could bounce and could give us a nice reaction for a long. Of course, we'll have to see how price gets there, how it reacts. But if things look good, that could be a nice place for a buy. Price might come a bit deeper, so I'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, looking for buys around 73,905 for Bitcoin. But for now, still pretty bearish. Okay, so we'll take a look at dollar CAD. No, we'll go through dollar CAD. Sorry, we'll take a look at dollar CAD next. We'll take a look at PLTR first, and then we'll go through dollar CAD, and then we'll take a look at dollar CHF as well. What is PLTR? Is that platinum? No. This is a stock. Let me know, Ben, if I'm looking at the right one. Oh, okay. It's a tech stock. Okay, cheers. What's up, Season Integrated? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So for this one, again, just getting a rough gauge of the market here. I would say it's probably in a nice area for a long. It depends what you're looking at for this one, Ben. If you're looking for a swing opportunity or you're looking for like a day trade. In terms of swing, I would say it is coming to a nice area for potentially a rally. I mean, the market is extremely bullish. So when we do have these major dips, you're kind of just looking to pick the bottom, really. We are a bit corrective now as well, so it's a sign that price is slowing down. It would be nice if price can hit support, but I've got a feeling we probably will put a higher low in before we do that. This was, of course, the last higher low, which gave us that massive move to the upside, so that would be a nice place for a buy. Yeah, I think there's a good chance we do put a higher low in before that. There's no specific level or specific price that I would say price is likely to turn around apart from that low. But yeah, I think that would be a nice place for a buy around 65. But to me, it looks like a big swing. Okay, swing trade looking for a bounce to 95, 100. So that is around, okay, so more or less the gap over there. Decent support at 80. Okay. I can see a level here, more or less. Not quite clear cut though, because we're kind of trading below it. If price was a little bit, I mean, if price was still holding like we were doing previously or back above it, then I'd like that area a little bit more. Because essentially this was the resistance, then price kind of gap through that resistance. That's a naughty gap, by the way, because anyone selling here from the previous high, damn, if you held into that position. But yeah, if price can get back above that, then I'll be a bit more of a fan of that. But the fact that we are very corrective is probably a strong chance that we do break above it, to be honest, and get that move. And yeah, 95, 100 is pretty realistic expectation, I would say. But yeah, generally speaking, likelihood is that will probably push up. If it was me, I'd probably wait to see if we can push to 67.5, but I think I would run the risk of price leaving without me there. Okay, so I'll take a look at dollar CAD for Ivan, then I'll take a look at dollar CHF as well. Robin, what is up? Hope you're well. All rules are good, but only one thing: any changes you will bring in for the daily profit limit, sir. Yes, we'll probably have challenges in the future, which will be slightly different format, which will have different rules. But at the moment, we will look to remove the daily profit cap after you show consistency in the funder stage, and that will be a bit more of a reward toward consistent traders. You'll take away the daily profit cap to allow you a bit more freedom with your positions. But at the moment, for the challenges, the daily profit cap again is a soft rule. So if you do hit the limit, it doesn't fail you. It just closes trades, and you're allowed to trade again the next day. But yeah, after you've shown consistency in the funding stage, the daily profit cap can be removed. What's up, TJ? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Fulton Tesla. Okay, we'll have a look at that one as well. Let me go through dollar CAD first. So USD CAD, you said you're short on this one. I am currently short as well. So we've got a similar idea here. Okay, so dollar CAD for entry at 1.43810. Whereabouts is that? 43810. Okay, so that's somewhere around here, more or less. Targets 1.42706. Okay, so you're looking somewhere in the low here. And your stop loss 1.44308. Stop losses more or less where my entry is. So yeah, the way I'm looking at dollar CAD is a bit more of a longer term swing. Well, not really longer term swing, but I'm looking to try and catch the 4-hour lower high to short it back into that 4H swing low. It looks like you're looking at a bit more of an intraday position. If I drag this across just to see it a little bit better. So it looks like you're looking at a bit more of an intraday position. In terms of stop loss, I see that you probably put it roughly around that high there, I'm guessing. And in terms of targets, more or less looking to target the support level here, which makes sense as well. So I did say yesterday with dollar CAD, it's either that price has a big kind of rally to the upside into resistance and potentially form a big double top, then you can base some stop losses above the high, or potentially price create some structure and you're trying to catch the next swing high. So potentially something like this, retest of this area and potentially short like that, which is kind of what price is doing, although not very in a clean fashion. But yeah, I am pretty bearish on dollar CAD. Stop loss placement, I think, is not bad. I mean, in terms of what you're looking for, in terms of the time frame you're trading on, it does make sense. But yeah, preferably I would like it to be a little bit higher or above a stronger level of resistance or stronger reaction in the market. So that would be my only kind of suggestion. But in terms of the trade, I like the situation because price is already broken through support. So it looks like right now we're having a bit of a retest. As long as that retest holds, we're expecting price to continue down. And of course, your support will be a target for the trade there, which I think is in a nice place. So yeah, I like the dollar CAD shorts. I'm shorting it myself, so I would do. And yeah, if we can maintain that resistance there, maintain that lower high, I think there's a good chance we do see a nice swing to the downside. Hopefully CAD can see a bit of strength because it's just been so weak for the past few weeks, actually. So I do think some strength is needed for CAD, just a bit of relief, even if it is going to remain weak longer term. Okay, so we'll take a look at dollar CHF next, and then we'll go through Tesla for TJ. Morning, Lauder. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Thoughts on Euro USD, Pound USD? I'm still long bias on these, as I am as well. We'll take a look at them too. So in terms of dollar CHF, I'm pretty bearish on this one as well. I've been waiting for a bit of a pullback, but I'm not too sure if I'll get it. This is the level I'm looking to short from. I like the lower lows and the lower highs prices been making. We've been pretty consistent with them, as we can see here. So I'm expecting another swing high and perhaps another swing to the downside as well. And that's really where my confidence lies there for dollar CHF. Looking at the bigger picture, you can see that pretty much dollar CHF is in a range. We rejected the highs there very well. We've got major support down at these lows. And that's pretty much where I'm expecting price to eventually get to, especially if I'm expecting dollar to drop all the way to 101, which is my expectation for the USD. So I'm expecting a push all the way to 101. If dollar's going to make a push there, then there's a good chance that dollar CHF is going to make a push in a similar direction as well, and probably get back to support too. So pretty bearish on dollar CHF after rejecting resistance pretty well. Dropping to the 4-hour chart, we're starting to trend bearish as well and form some really nice lower lows and lower highs. So just expecting another pullback and more of the same really. So yeah, it's looking pretty good there for dollar CHF. However, I need to see a pullback into that level first before taking a trade. Potentially might react to some areas before that and potentially sell off as well. That could be the case, but in terms of my personal trading, that's where we situated for some shorts if we can get there. In terms of Tesla, it's been a while since I've had a look at Tesla. Yeah, that was probably the last time I had a look at Tesla. So we had that swing high. We did get the drop, but it looks like price didn't hold support, and we've been selling off a cliff since then. My goodness, Tesla's been down hard. Yeah, I think stocks in general are just down, aren't they? So yeah, in terms of Tesla, I think it's coming into a nice place for a buy, to be honest. But I would be careful because it's very, very aggressive move. This impulse up followed by an impulse down like that is a very impulsive reversal, which does tend to mean more downside is to come. It's not like we've had a big push up and prices slowly push down correctively like we did over here, which did give a pretty big bearish move, but later we do expect a push back up. Of course, Tesla, I do expect price to eventually push back up as well. But it could mean a bit more downside for a while before we do make that push. And there could be some nice shorts to take as well. So now that we're back below major resistance here for Tesla, I think that's actually a really nice place for a sell around 30.92. Major resistance, big push to the downside, really strong break back below. I would say Tesla is in an area where we probably might see some upside coming back into this low here. Very, very gappy here, but big push to the upside from that low. Perhaps we might see a bit of a correction now, but as soon as we get back to 300, I would expect Tesla to make another push back down there. Sort of what I'm looking for are the major indices, NAS, S&P. I do think they're likely to correct and then continue as well. So I do think there's a good chance Tesla will probably do the same as well. So yeah, Tesla not looking too good. Really heavy bearish momentum. I do think naturally we'll see a bit of a push, especially coming back into some bullish areas here. But in terms of a bigger move for Tesla, I do think there's still more downside, and that would be a nice place for a short. Retesting close to the channel. Which channel are you referring to? I suppose this channel here. I mean, that could be where we do push into before potentially having a bigger buy. So I would keep an eye out for that. But for now, yeah, I would still be pretty bearish on Tesla. Bit of a correction, yes, but I think the bigger move is still likely to the downside. Okay, so we'll go through Euro USD and Pound USD next. I'll still go through some of the yen pairs. No problem, Ivan. Happy to help. Lighten, any nice setups on USD ZAR? Okay, we'll have a look. See, let me just go through Euro USD and Pound USD first. So yeah, Euro, I'm looking for some buys for this one. I've got a few areas which I'm looking to take a trade. Again, my expectation with Euro is a push back into resistance up here at 1.11. So the plan very much is just looking for a pullback, a high low somewhere, and keep buying Euro USD. Of course, waiting for appropriate confirmations, not just buying wherever, whenever. But if I can see a decent pullback and things look good, fits my plan well, I'm looking to hop into a trade. But yeah, really impulsive candle last week, a lot of momentum. So the odds of us continuing that momentum back to resistance are pretty high. Now it's just about waiting for price to find support again and jump into some longs. On the daily chart, I've highlighted a couple levels, which I'm keeping a close eye on for some longs. So at the moment, we're testing some resistance right now, which I'm kind of expecting to see some retracement for. And it looks like we might be seeing some at the moment. But really what I'm looking at is a pullback either into 1.077 or a pullback into 1.06210. Those are my two areas which I'm looking to buy from. This area does line up pretty well with the 0.5 and the 0.618, so that would be my preferred level to buy from. But because euro is so bullish, I doubt we see a pullback that big. I think realistically we might get something like this correction, retest that area, and see the continuation. So 1.077 I think is a very important level for euro. At the moment, we're still looking fairly corrective, so I do think we'll get a bit of a move to the downside. I'll see what we can do here. If that breaks, like I said, I'll look at the level further down. But yeah, very, very bullish on euro, but I do want to see a bit of a pullback for euro. And looking at the dollar as well, it does look like this one is getting ready for a pullback too. I drop to the 4-hour chart, move this out the way a little bit so we can see a bit better. There we go. This is also very, very corrective too. We've had a big drop. There's been a lot of momentum to the downside, but now becoming very, very corrective, which tends to mean we're about to retrace. So yeah, kind of getting ready for that for the dollar, and hopefully we find some nice downside shortly afterwards. So yeah, very bearish long term for USD. So looking to buy euro, but I do want to see a bit of a pullback first, and same thing for pound USD as well. Very strong move to the upside last week, breaking through some structure in the daily chart. This was our last lower high, which gave us that push. Since then, the market has broken structure and giving us this kind of V-shaped pattern here as well, which again tends to mean more upside to come, most likely. So now that we have broken structure, we've seen some nice momentum. We've left behind a nice area of confluence just below. We've got some nice resistance here at 1.27. That would be a really nice area for a buy if price can come back and retest that level. First test, second test, third test, looking for the fourth. And hopefully if price can respect that, there's a good chance price does make it back to the high and perhaps some new highs past that point as well. We are respecting this big area of demand. Perhaps that could give us a swing back to the high there. So potentially longer term, we might be seeing pound USD on a very bullish trajectory, which makes sense. If dollar's going to get to 101, probably we'll see pound USD push to 1.34, 1.35 as well. So there could be a lot more upside there for pound USD. So yeah, pretty bullish on euro and pound. Just waiting for some pullbacks. You can see pound as well looking pretty corrective here on the 4-hour chart. So I do think we'll see a likely move to the downside at some point. And hopefully you can find nice confirmations to take it back up again. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with euro and pound. I'll go for USD ZAR next. We'll see what USD does in 1.5 hours. Oh, we got some news, don't we? We've got some news. Let me just take a look. We had a lot of news yesterday. It didn't really affect my trade too much for dollar CAD. I mean, we did see a bit of up and down, but overall my position wasn't affected too much. Wasn't affected too much, to be honest. I mean, we've had a lot of news that's been up and down, but overall price still respecting resistance. So as long as that remains true, I will remain in the trade. Stops above the high and looking for a push into support. But this afternoon, we do have PPI here for USD at 12:30 UK time. So in about an hour and a half. So we'll see how that affects the market. Of course, it will probably affect my trade. We'll see if it's for me or against me. And then tomorrow, we've got GDP for pound, Michigan consumer sentiment for USD. Not really a news event I pay too much attention to be honest. But yeah, it could affect the dollar, of course. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, there's not much else. So yeah, things are starting to wind down for the week, I suppose. Anyway, I'll take a look at USDZAR for Lighten. No problem, Lauder. Happy to help. My H4MA hasn't crossed. That actually shouldn't be in the trade yet. It happens only when it happens. Again, no trade is going to be perfect. You're not going to always take the correct position. As long as you take it 99% of the time, I would say that's good enough. Of course, if you tend to take it more often than you should do, then you start to lose your edge a little bit. Matt, what's up? How's it? Where's the trade at? Broke my leg. Wait, what? Where's the trades at? Broke my leg, so got 3 months to fill in. You broke your leg? Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, my man. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I've never broken a bone before, to be fair, so I don't know the pain, but yeah, my thoughts go out to your leg, mate. That is crazy. Hope you're okay. But yeah, I'll go through my watch list in a minute. I'll just take a look at USDZAR and I'll go through my watch list. Okay, so USDZAR, I mentioned yesterday there could be some nice buys for this one on the lower time frames. Looks like we actually had the buy opportunity there actually. Because I was talking about the retest of this support level, because we can see price has paid a lot of attention to it. First, second, third, fourth, even slightly a fifth test there. So price has paid a lot of attention to this price, and we did break below it. However, we didn't sustain it as resistance. Price has since broken back above. So I did say yesterday that potentially if we can come back, retest it, that would be a nice place for a buy. Stops below, and perhaps capitalizing on a move to the upside again, back into resistance. Coming back into this area or this area here as well. 18.668 would be some nice healthy targets there. So drop into the hourly chart. If I can delete that, great. It wasn't clean, to be honest. The retest here, a lot of news there as well. That was from yesterday, but it looks like price has held support pretty well. So I would suggest if we can get there again, perhaps a nice double bottom. That could line up to a nice position there, something like this. Stops below the low, and hopefully a nice continuation back to the next level. Essentially looking for the next higher low, and a continuation like that would be my expectation there for USDZAR. So yeah, as long as we can stay above support, this looks to me like a big fake out. And if we can hold support, we're likely to push back into resistance into those areas. So yeah, pretty bullish there for USDZAR. Okay, hold on for actual stop loss for the first time, just in case it goes the other way. Okay, but at least you've taken a measurement to protect yourself there. Don't ride dirt bikes; easy to do. Damn. Yeah, I've never ridden a dirt bike before, so yeah, that sounds painful. Lucky I can trade to fill the time. Yeah, yeah. As long as you got your brain in your two hands, you can definitely whack on a few positions in that time. But yeah, that is unfortunate, my man. That is unfortunate. Happy to help, Lighten. I'm on a gold sell intraday, not too confident. Yeah, I'm pretty bullish on gold as well. Not as well. You just said you're shorting. I'm pretty bullish on gold. So I wouldn't really be looking to short gold. And again, shorting gold is always a difficult proposition because number one, the market is very, very bullish, especially in these times. The market's been very bullish since the start of 2024. It's been right into the upside, and it hasn't really turned around since. We had a bit of a drop there a few weeks ago, but the market since picked up the pace a little bit. So if I was looking to short gold, the only way I would think about shorting gold is if price was back at resistance here. And again, I wouldn't take that trade because number one, the trend is still very much to the upside across all the major time frames. There's a lot of reasons why gold can go higher. So shorting gold is always a very, very difficult thing to do. I'd very much wait for bearish structure to be in place first before I would take any shorts, which is not what we got right now. In fact, you've got some bullish structure here, which looks like price is slowly continuing. So yeah, I think shorts for gold are just a little bit aggressive. Again, any trade can play out. Even bad trades can win sometimes. So I'm not suggesting I know that the trade's not going to work out, because I don't know that. But what I can say is that I'm pretty bullish in gold, and areas down here look like a really nice buys. Of course, we've had a strong breakout since. The market is looking fairly corrective. So we probably will get a retracement at some point. But I do think gold is likely to continue higher, back into the highs at 29.56, and possibly eventually back to 3K up there as well. So I'm pretty bullish on gold. Pullbacks would be nice for some opportunities. Whether we get them or not, I have to wait and see. But yeah, I do expect further upside for gold. So yeah, in terms of my watch list, so I did hop into a new position this morning. I hopped into some New Zealand CAD shorts, so I'm kind of doubling up on CAD a little bit. So see if that goes for me or not. But I hopped into some shorts on New Zealand CAD. Price came back into a nice zone. We saw a really nice rejection of it on the 4-hour chart. Price essentially held that high. We came back into a nice area of supply on the left there, and I'm looking for a swing back into support, which is at 0.79537. So my expectation for the trade is a swing back into the low here. I've had that expectation for a while, basically ever since we had the breakout of the ascending channel. It just hasn't been a clean setup. I haven't pulled the trigger yet until now, and finally the setup does look pretty good. I'm looking for a push back into support. So if this is going to be a lower high, since we have come back to retest the underside of the trend line as well, then I'm expecting a full swing back into the low. Risk reward is about 2.87, so nothing too crazy. But I like the entry. Prices essentially failed to break through the high there. We've had multiple attempts trying to break to the upside here, but they've pretty much all failed. And we had a nice strong close on that 4-hour candle this morning. So I've hopped into the trade there. Targets down there, stops above the high. The only cautious thing here is that, again, I'm kind of doubling up on CAD a little bit. I'm shorting USD CAD. I'm shorting New Zealand CAD. So CAD weakness will definitely be not good news to me. But my expectation is that CAD's been weak for so long, and so weak as well, that it's definitely due a bit of a correction. Of course, that correction could be next week or the week after. The reason I've taken the trade is not because I'm expecting CAD to be strong. It's based on the technicals of this chart in particular, and same with dollar CAD. But another confluence for the trade is that CAD is probably likely to find some strength soon. So yeah, I'm expecting a push down here for New Zealand CAD. I'm pretty bearish on Aussie CAD as well. Setup wasn't looking as clean there with that one, so I've kind of stayed away. But I'm looking for a similar move for Aussie CAD. I'm expecting a push all the way back into support eventually. Just haven't really got a clear trade for that one, but I'm expecting a similar move for that one as well. So nice to see New Zealand CAD and Aussie CAD pointing the same direction. But yeah, so the position I'm in right now is dollar CAD shorts. This one I entered last Tuesday. So I've been in the trade for a little over a week now. New Zealand CAD, which I just hopped into now. We're going to see how that gets going. Then, of course, Aussie CHF, which is over a month now. Aussie CHF, I've already taken most of my profit, so I'm kind of just very relaxed with this position. My stop loss has trailed to this area here as well, so it's into profit. So, worst case scenario, even the positions I've got remaining will still be stopped out in profit. But I did take most of my profit as we got to the low here, so that low was my main target for the trade. So I've taken most of my profit. But one of my goals this year is to really maximize my winners by letting some trades run to some bigger targets than I normally would. And that's the plan with the trade here. Again, not for every trade. Not every trade makes sense to leave positions to run. For example, dollar CAD, I'm not leaving positions to run for this one. If I can get it into support there, I'm closing the trade altogether. Potentially could go further, but because the trend is not really in my favor yet, I have to be a bit more conservative with this position. If I was coming from a long-standing bearish trend, then yeah, I would be a bit more aggressive. And also New Zealand CAD, I'm not looking to run the trade as well. If I can get back into support there, I'm not trying to take it past that level. Not because I don't think it can get there, but because I'm not really positioned high enough, high enough. Don't know what I said there. High enough for it to be a trade where I would hold for a long term. Aussie CHF, managed to catch a nice swing high, so the odds of price getting back up there again are pretty slim, especially since we're above major support as well, which is going to be acting as resistance. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my personal trading. Still really looking to see if I can short Euro Yen. That's still a really nice place for a short. So this one is probably a position that I could hop into as well. Either we get a double top up there and I look to short it on the double top, or because I did miss this entry here yesterday, or I short it on the daily candlestick. So if I see a nice bearish close on the daily chart, I will look for the entry there, stop loss above the high here, and targets back at support. So if Euro Yen looks good, I'll jump into that one as well. Yeah, but there's many other pairs I'm looking at. USD pairs a lot, but they're taking a while. I have a friend who's waiting for gold at 25.27. Where is that? $25.27. Okay, that's around here somewhere. Fair play to him. Gold might correct that much. I mean, at some point, gold will have a big correction. Gold doesn't move in straight lines. It's not Bitcoin. It doesn't just keep going on and on forever. It will have some big moves. Don't get me wrong, but then it will correct them. You know, we had a huge move there from the start of time, pretty much. I'm going back to 2002, but you can see we had a really big correction. How big of a correction was that? That was a 45% correction. So there will be times where we come into a bit of a bearish climate for gold, and we're having a really bullish climate right now, but it's never going to last forever. We eventually will go through a bigger correction. If we'll get back down to that 25.27 level specifically, I have no idea. I have no idea where we will top out from. It might be 3K, it might be all the way at 4K potentially. So I'm not too sure, but I'm sure your friend's got his reasons or her reasons for looking to buy there. And I do expect to have a bigger correction at some point as well for gold. It's just difficult to say where, when it's going to happen. At the moment, it's still looking pretty bullish, and I think there's a good chance we create some new highs. That gold tracement on the way up, blew my 10K fund account, caught the bottom of gold, but got bored and added to my position in the chart with a big position. Oh, okay, that is a bummer, my friend. It was funded as well, didn't get a payout. Yeah, again, that's one of the downside of getting complacent sometimes, because again, the market will always humble you. You always have to realize you've got to always be switched on. There is no room for complacement. Even if you think like you're doing very well and you're very in tune with your edge and everything seems to be going your way, the market is going to come back to bite you very, very soon, 100%. Just remember, just after every good time in the market, there's always a bit of a dip. There's always a bit of a dip. And just after every bad time in the market, there's always a bit of a push up as well. Yeah, it's important not to get complacent, but yeah, I'd imagine a lot of people will be guilty of that. Just living, what do you think of GJ and UJ? Okay, yep, I'm going to go through some of the yen pairs. Just got to check New Zealand CAD 2. That's a hell of a setup to me. Nice. Definitely shooting down. I like that attitude, Lighton. I like that attitude. But yeah, I mean, it looks really like a nice setup to me. It fits the plan very well. I'm also an eye up Aussie CAD, but I'm just going to stick with New Zealand CAD because they're very much the same position, really. But yeah, got a nice entry this morning. Respected the high pretty well. And yeah, looking for the continuation back into support. So as long as price can respect that area, there's a good chance we do sell off. But of course, nothing's guaranteed, which is why I've got my stop loss above the high and why I'm not risking my whole account on the trade. It could very much go wrong. So I'm always going to protect the risk side of things, but I'm always going to take a trade which I'm expecting to play out, of course, but yeah, that's not the reality. So, but yeah, we'll see how everything gets going. So far looking okay, but a long way to go. It's going to hit my target. Still looking for about 230 pips to the downside, and my stop loss is about 80 pips. So we'll see. Holy One, what are your thoughts on currency strength meters? I've had one for years since I started, and it's never helped me. Okay, so we know your thoughts on it then. Yeah, I've not really looked into them too much, to be honest. The way I see it, I can gauge the strength of a currency just by looking at the chart. I can tell you which currencies are very strong, which currencies are very weak, just by flicking through different markets. So I don't really see the benefit of them. If the currency strength meter said at the start of the day, there's a 55% chance that Aussie is going to be bullish today or very strong today, then I could see some use for them because there is a slight edge there, and you can use that to add confidence to a trade or base a trade around. If there's a 55% chance that Aussie's going to be bullish, then there's an idea there. If the currency strength meter just tells you that Aussie's bullish right now, well, what am I supposed to do with that information? I could buy it right now, but then potentially might become weak. Your trading is always about what could happen next, not necessarily what's happening right now, because right now it could change very, very quickly. And of course, I can just see what's happening now just by looking at the chart. Aussie strength, Aussie strong, CAD's weak. I can tell that by looking at the chart. So personally, I don't really see much use for them. If they told me a little bit of the future, again, it doesn't have to be crazy accuracy. Even 55% will give me some type of edge. But yeah, if it's just telling me what's happening now, I don't really see the use of that. Maybe if you're very intraday and you're going to be in a trade for like 30 minutes, then maybe because you're trading the here and now. As a swing trader who is going to be in trade for a while, things will become strong, things will become weak, and things will change a lot. So for me, I don't really see the use of it. But maybe intraday, if you're very, very short term, maybe there's a bit of use there. Sharif, what is imbalance? I don't really trade imbalances, so I don't know either, mate. Not a part of my trading style. You see a possibility of retrace, so we can dive to. I will take a look at GJ and UJ just living. I haven't forgot. But yeah, I do see the possibility of a retracement. It depends what type of retracement you're looking for, Lighton. Are you looking for a retracement on like a 15-minute hourly time frame or a retracement on the 4 hour? It depends what you're looking for. But if I drop to the hourly chart right now, I can see the market's making a lot of these lower highs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So perhaps there's a possibility we do push up, form another lower high, and that could be a nice trade to take there. Kind of looking to continue the lower highs here, basic trade around that, and take a short there. So I can see an idea there of retracement and a short opportunity there on the hourly chart. From a 4 hour perspective, we might see a retracement, but it's a bit awkward because really you kind of want to be shorting at the high here. You don't want to be taking a trade somewhere here with a stop loss here. Not because it won't succeed, but just because your stop loss is not really in a safe place. The odds of you getting wicked out, especially in a choppy pair, New Zealand CAD is a bit of a choppy pair, it doesn't move that clean. So the higher you can get your stop loss or the lower you can get your stop loss, below major support, above major resistance, the better really. Puts you at a much safer place. So from a 4 hour perspective, not looking great. Intraday, I feel like there is a lower high opportunity there if we do get a pullback. Yesterday when I used to join ICT lives, you said currency strength is right in front of your face, the chart. Yeah, I would agree with that, to be honest. If it gave me some indication of what price can do in the future, great, I can use that. But if it's telling me right now, I can see the chart for that. I suppose it speeds things up. You know, if you don't want to look at the chart to gauge strength and weakness, you can use a currency meter to kind of speed things up, because otherwise you would have to go through, different charts to see, okay, what's New Zealand dollar doing against pound, euro, CAD, yen. You have to go through different charts to gauge strength or weakness. A currency meter will kind of give it to you simple, so you don't have to look for different charts and give it to you straight. So I suppose there's use in that in terms of making things a little bit easier, but in terms of actually creating edge, which is the most important thing, I don't think it gives you too much of that. Okay, let me go through pound yen and pound USD. So no, not pound USD, sorry, UJ. So pound yen, I'm pretty bearish on this one. I'm looking for a big swing back into the lows here, but it's taking its sweet time. I'm looking to see if potentially we will have a push to the upside here for pound yen before a push back down. And that's really the trade idea I'm interested in. We've got a high over there, big push to downside, another lower high over there, big push to downside. And potentially we could put a third one in, which is the high I'm looking to potentially short and capitalize on at least the move back into the low here. But well and truly, hopefully I can leave some positions to run back into the low there, because that's what I'm expecting. Massive drop there in July, August last year. I'm still looking at this as the correction of that for a continuation into support. So that's the direction I want to trade in. But unfortunately, because price has done such a good job at respecting support, it is not quite ready yet for me to be shorting, especially from a swing point of view. Day trading and intraday trading, of course, you can be in and out of the market pretty quickly. So, there'll be more opportunities there. But in terms of the bigger swing, I need price to pull away from support first, back into bearish territory I can base a trade from, just like we did, over there, nice swing, over there, nice swing. Maybe as we come back into some area supply on the left, hopefully I can catch a nice short there and take a nice swing there to the downside as well. So very, very bearish on pound yen, but something like this needs to happen first before I do get a short. Or if we do go and break through support for whatever reason, then potentially some pullbacks below could look good. So that's another idea. But yeah, at the moment, not much to go with pound yen. In terms of dollar yen, I've been looking for a slightly deeper pullback for this one. I'm very bearish on dollar yen long term as well, looking for a push all the way back down to 140. This is my expectation here for dollar yen, back to 141. We've got major resistance here on the left, which I'm looking for price to now respect as resistance, because we're back below it again. So I'm looking to see if we can pull back into that zone, retest it, and get a big short. There's a long way down for dollar yen, so the risk reward is looking pretty attractive on this trade. It's just about hopefully finding a good entry to take advantage of this and some good pullbacks. I do have a lovely trend line which is connecting all these lower highs here on the 4-hour chart. So I'm looking to see if we can get another test of the same trend line back into this area, and hopefully a nice short and a continuation for dollar yen here. So that's very much my plan for the trade, and hopefully you can find a nice short in the next few days. So yeah, very, very bearish on dollar yen, very bearish on pound yen, very bearish across the board for the yen pairs at the moment. Euro yen probably looks the best to me, so I'm focused on that one in terms of entries. Like I said, if we push up for a double top, and I look to take a trade on the double top there, because we are trading a really nice trend line, which I'm expecting price to hold. So I would either look for the double top entry, or I will wait for a strong daily candle close. If we can get one today, great. I will look for an entry, stops above the high and targets back at the low. If I can get 1 to 2, I'm not too fast about that. That's decent risk reward there. And I'll be looking to see if I can push it a bit further, because I do expect this to be the bigger move. But yeah, Euro yen is the best for me at the moment, so I'm keeping a close eye on that one. But yeah, hopefully that made sense on GJ and UJ. I probably will go through some more of the yen pairs, because I haven't gone through them yet. GJ is really doing the most. Again, the way I see it is that market is a market at the end of the day. If you don't have a lot of time spent trading a market or just looking at price action, It's always going to be a bit tricky in the beginning. But the more you spend time with a market, you realize it's just a battle between buyers and sellers. And if you can formulate an edge in one market, there's a good chance you can replicate that in another market as well, especially if it's the same kind of bracket or asset class like Forex, commodities. Of course, you might have to change it up a little bit if you're going over to indices or stocks, even very much so. Even crypto, things will have their own kind of character traits, which means that some things will work better than others, and some things would work a lot better in a certain condition, but not so much or at all in a different condition in a different market as well. So I have to pay attention to that a lot. But GJ, I like trading GJ. It's a nice pair. It moves a lot. If you don't know what you're doing, you can definitely lose your money a lot faster here. But I like it because it does move a lot, and the sells are really attractive as well because when the yen pairs sell, they normally sell pretty hard. So and as a swing trader, it makes things a little bit easier too. Negative swaps aren't great, but yeah, it does make up for it. I get to the visual meter is a type of fast food. It's already there, ready. Just take it, eat. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. It just makes your life a little bit easier because you don't have to go through the chart to look at different strength and gauge it yourself. And maybe for whatever reason, you might just not be on your A game, and Aussie might be very strong, but for whatever reason, you put it as weak. At least the strength meter won't mess up really. Um, and there will be no mistakes on that part, whereas a human might make a silly mistake here and there. So yeah, I can see the use of it in terms of just making life a little bit easier, but in terms of edge, which is always what I'm going to gauge something on, does it give you edge? How much edge does it potentially give you? The meter is just more like information rather than strategy. Looks like I missed my entry, was away for 10 minutes. Surprise, surprise. Damn, that is unfortunate, my man. Darkron, do you always enter on the 5 minute chart, or do you potentially sometimes enter on a different time frame? But yeah, that is unfortunate, my man. That is unfortunate. You hate to see that. I mean, on the 5 minute chart, it's not the worst thing in the world because you do get quite a lot of opportunities. I'm pretty sure you said you get like on average 2 opportunities a day or something like that. So there's a lot of trading opportunities. Of course, you don't want to miss one that works out though, especially one that you've been eyeing up as well. But yeah, it looks like we've respected that zone very, very well, and price is selling off pretty hard right now. Um, yeah, damn. We might come back up though. I wouldn't write it off completely, but yeah, it has been a nice reaction there. Yeah, Forex is tricky with no edge. That's a fact, 100%, 100%. But the funny thing is though, because you can have edge and you can have negative edge, or you can have no edge. No edge is essentially you just break even because you're not losing money, not making money. Because if the market has equal probability of moving down or up at any given time, then theoretically you should just be break even. Of course, you would lose a little bit of money due to like swaps and commission and spread as well, but it will be a very slow decline and based on the charges of trading. If you have no edge, it's always interesting because if you have no edge, if you have negative edge, that means of course you're losing money over time, but because of your strategy makes a negative return. The funny thing is, if you do the opposite of that, your active curve will be pointing up as well, which is quite funny. Uh, Not funny as in ha funny, but it's just an interesting way to look at the market because if you did the opposite, you would actually make money um, as well. But yeah, of course, you need to have edge if you want to return over time. Of course, you can have edge and have a really bad losing streak. That can happen to any trader. But over time, that's where your edge kicks in and does the heavy lifting. Okay, only 5 minute. Yeah, fair enough. I like the consistency though. It makes everything a lot simpler as well. Mika, would you love to have a virtual assistant? I can do a very good job. Um, maybe in the future, just living. Maybe in the future, I will keep note of your suggestion there. But I do appreciate the offer, though. I appreciate the offer. If I was going to lose this much starting out, I would never have tried. Yeah, I suppose so. But it's always the fun. It's the fun you have along the way, and the stress as well. But yeah, I mean, you always have the expectation that you would eventually make trading worthwhile. Even when times are going very, very poorly, you always have the expectation that trading will eventually come good. And again, trading is not necessarily something only well, there is only a select few that are profitable, but it's not like they're just the chosen ones. Anyone, I feel like anyone can trade profitably with the correct approach to trading. Of course, there's a lot of human error that can come into play. A lot of mistakes you can make, but you can correct them, which is why I think journaling is such an important process, because you can understand, okay, where you're falling over and correct it in the future. I always suggest that if you're looking to start trading, the best thing to do is not start with a live account. I know some people recommend that, but if you don't know what you're doing, there's no point starting with live money unless you can really afford to lose it and you don't really care for it. Then of course have fun. But I think the best thing to do is just work on your trade, work on your craft, and then whilst you do find some consistency, then of course you can deploy money into a trading account. Anyway, so in terms of CAD yen, I'm pretty bearish on this one as well. This one's actually taken out a wick low here, so now's not the time to be looking to short anymore for CAD yen. I do still expect more downside, however. I'm still very bearish on CAD yen. I do think eventually price can get back to support down at these areas, 95, perhaps a lot further as well. Excuse me. But I do need to see some retracement first before I do take any shorts. And if I drop to the daily chart, I'm kind of looking for the retest of this support level. If price can get there, that would be great. And I will consider some shorts. So what's that? 106? Yeah, 106 is kind of where we're looking to try and take a trade. You can see we formed one high here, really nice drop there. Second high there, nice drop as well. Now I'm looking for the third and perhaps a lot more downside as well. I'm anticipating a bit of a reversal for the yen pairs in the next few months. So that's why I'm expecting this trend to really continue. But of course, at the moment, testing major support. We're just taking out that wick low. So I'm no longer interested in shorting. If anything, it's probably a nice time to be looking to buy CAD yen. CGF JPY. Yeah, this one's still trading at major support. So although I'm still pretty bearish on this one as well, I cannot be looking to short at these prices because I'll be shorting directly into support, which price is doing a pretty good job at holding. So again, I need price to pull back up and give me that major lower high, hopefully. So something like this, 2 and maybe 3, something like that. And hopefully catch a nice short off the back of that, or break through support. And then I can look for some pullbacks and some retests accordingly and take some shorts there. But the bigger move for me for Swiss yen is likely to be to the downside. It's just about basing a good trade, finding a good entry, a good stop loss, and taking that position there. But yeah, I know the direction I'm looking to trade in. Of course, if something happens, I will look to reinvestigate that bias. But for now, there's been no clear sign that I'm expecting a big swing to the upside. So just looking to time the shorts well. Aussie yen and New Zealand yen, I like the shorts with this one. I feel like Aussie and NZD have been a little bit weak this morning, so they haven't really seen much of a pullback yet. AUD JPY, I'm still looking for the wick low here to be taken out. If I drop to the 4-hour chart, I'm looking for a slightly bigger pullback, but I'm not too sure if I will see that happen anymore. We've got some nice support over here at 94.5. It would be really nice to see price come back, retest that, and get a drop. But yeah, not sure if we'll see that. We could do. So I'm going to see. I'm going to keep an eye on it, of course. But yeah, that really is the plan for the trade. Just basically trying to catch the next lower high, respect support pretty well. There's a good job. We'll probably come and take out that wick low. And New Zealand yen, which Came very, very close to taking out the wick low here. If I drag that out, you can see very, very close to doing that. So basically, I'm expecting us to go do that in the next couple of days for New Zealand yen. We've got a lovely bearish trend here, similar to Aussie yen. So I was looking for a slightly bigger pullback for this one, but I'm not too sure if I'll see it. I was looking for the double top over there, coming back into that area. But yeah, not quite enough to get there. So probably a missed position there for New Zealand yen. But I would want price to be higher anyway, so I can put a stop loss above the high, above the structure there. The stop loss here is just a bit vulnerable because I still can see easily a retest of the trend line and retest that resistance. Stop loss here means the market's going to have to work a lot harder to take me out of the trade, and it will keep me in the trade a lot better as well. And if the price does hit my stop loss, it most likely is break to the upside anyway. So yeah, it didn't pull back deep enough for an entry, but nonetheless, still expecting a lot more downside. So yeah, pretty bearish there for the yen pairs. CA73, I don't recognize the name, my man. Have you changed your name? But I've been good. I've been good. Hope you've been well too. The family's doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope everything's good your end as well. Hope the family's good. Charlie from Form. Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell, my man. I'm sorry. Charlie from Form. Wait, you talking about school? Yeah, if you're talking about school, let me know. Because that would be insane. Ben, I have not looked at indices yet, but I will take a look at the indices for you, no problem. Indicators have been able to be wiped. I think I made every mistake in the book, so now I've just got to stop repeating them. Yeah, I mean that's a good way of kind of getting the job done. Do every mistake possible, then just not do them again. Is a good way of doing it. But of course, easier said than done. Easier said than done. It takes a lot of willpower to not kind of get tripped up again. But again, that's where you have try and create a concrete plan which you can follow, and stay on the path of it. Makes things a little bit easier. What's up, Trading Crypt? Welcome to the stream. Hope you well. What do you think of Euro USD considering we have CPI in like an hour? Yeah, I will take a look at Euro. I'm pretty bullish on Euro. I expect to see some retracement. I expect to see some retracement pretty soon. So hopefully we can see that happen off the back of the news. But I'm very, very bullish on Euro. So only looking to buy. School reunion in the YouTube chat. Yeah, potentially. Bush Academy, no way. No way, Charlie. What is up, my man? How have you been? That is surreal. That is weird, man. Yeah, I've been doing good. Hope you've been well too. Yeah, it has been a while. I left Bush Academy in year 9. So that's probably the last time I saw you. And that is a good decade, pretty much. So yeah, good to see you again. Hope you've been well. Definitely to catch up. But yeah, that is surreal. Hope you've been doing well. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at Euro USD. If I have missed out a pair, let me know. Put it in the chat because yeah, I've probably forgotten. But I'll take a look at Euro USD, and then we'll go through some of the CAD pairs. Go through some of the crosses as well. Front C, show us your last 3 years trading statement for the past 3 years, obviously from a live account. Mate, unless you're my accountant, mate, I'm afraid I'm not going to show you that. Um, unless you're applying to be my accountant, then direct message me. But other than that, yeah, I'm afraid I'm not going to show you that. Again, if you don't want to learn from my channel, then you don't have to. You know, you can go somewhere else. But that is personal information, my friend. Anyway, let's go through Euro USD. Okay, so yeah, Euro USD. I am expecting some retracement for this one, but I'm expecting a lot more upsides, and that's the direction I'm looking to trade in. I'm looking to buy around 1.07706, and that is my expectation. But I do have a level which I'm looking for a deep retracement should Euro be pretty bearish, but I'm not expecting that to be the case. You've got a lot of momentum. You can see on the weekly chart, really big, strong candle there to the upside, really strong candle. So I'm expecting a lot more of that momentum to continue back into resistance at 1.11. So the plan very much is just looking for a pullback in towards support to buy. And as I just mentioned, that level there looks really nice around 1.077 or 1.061. So that's really where I'm looking to buy from. But yeah, in terms of the CPI news, potentially we might see some retracement. PPI is it? We might see some retracement this afternoon, which will be nice. But again, I'm never really looking to trade the news. I'm always looking to wait for the news to happen and then take moves afterwards. I have my technical bias, which I'm looking to trade, which is bullish for Euro USD. I just want to see a pullback into my level. So that's really where I'm looking to take my position. You ain't trading nothing. I'm just going to remove you because you're wasting my time. Then it says you have to be his accountant. Is he selling classes? I'm not selling classes. Yeah, so that's unfortunate for you because I'm not selling any classes. So I don't know where you're getting that information from. But yeah, you basically just want to look into my finances. So unless you're doing my accounting, I don't see the need of that. Anyway, okay. Cheers, Charlie. Definitely have a catch up. But yeah, definitely good seeing you again, my man. Exactly, Lord. Exactly. Appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It does really help out. I do really appreciate that. And of course, hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams in the future. But I'm going to take a look at some of the CAD pairs. Of course, we've seen some crazy moves for the CAD pairs. We've seen some really big moves for them, but I do think it's time to see some retracement. Hence why I'm kind of selling New Zealand CAD. I've been eyeing up Aussie CAD as well for some shorts too. But yeah, I like New Zealand CAD a little bit better, so I'm focused on that one. And yeah, I do think there's a bigger move here for Aussie CAD. But New Zealand CAD has a slightly cleaner setup, so I took in that one, but I'm expecting a similar move. But I am expecting some downside for the CAD pairs. Again, we'll see what happens with CAD outright because it might be strong. It might be strong for a little bit and then become weak again. Again, fundamentals are going to play such a huge role in the direction of CAD. But from a technical standpoint, and even just buying and selling as well, you know, a lot of people who would have taken advantage of this trend here probably looking to start calling. I start looking to close some positions, especially taking out a major high back here at 1.8422, 84244. Sorry. You know, we're taking out major resistance. This is resistance back in 2018, and we're creating new highs since that point. So a lot of buyers probably looking to close positions, more sellers jumping into the market. So I do think it's a good time to expect some retracement for pound CAD, and exactly the same situation for Euro CAD as well. If I go to the weekly chart, actually, I'm expecting more of the same there too. So naturally expecting price to retrace there as well. And you know, we've got a massive range here, which I think looks good for a retest as well. So that's kind of where I'm waiting for price to come back into. So yeah, pretty well, CAD is still weak, but I'm expecting to see some retracement at some point. So that's my expectation for Euro CAD and Pound CAD is retracement. I'm not looking to short them because there is no kind of bearish opportunity for me. However, for Aussie CAD and New Zealand CAD, there is a bearish opportunity, hence why I've taken a position there. So I'm short New Zealand CAD, and hopefully we can see a nice swing there to the downside. If CAD becomes a little bit stronger, that should help out the trade as well. But I've always managed my risk. My stop loss is above the high. So if we do take out resistance, I'll stop out and walk away from the trade. And I'm shorting USD CAD as well. So I'm kind of doubled up a little bit on CAD. Hopefully that's for the better, but we'll see. This is the USD CAD position. Again, more so I'm focused on USD here. CAD is just the pair I'm partnered with, but I'm expecting a lot more downside here for dollar CAD as well. So yeah, that's my expectation with CAD, dollar CAD. Well, for recap, okay, I'll take a look at dollar CAD for you. Exactly, high exactly. No problem, Dammy. Happy to help, my man. Good to hear. Good to hear. Again, if you're finding use from this, that's the purpose of the stream. So, you know, if that's the case, that's music to my ears. Stream got some flavor. Like, it does have a bit of flavor, doesn't it? It does. Exactly. But again, you know, whatever you do, there's always going to be someone who's going to criticize you. So the way I see it, as long as your intentions are genuine and you know you're true behind your intentions, then that's the most important thing. Because whatever happens, you know, someone's always going to have something to say. Okay, so let's go through some of the crosses. Actually, let me go for the indices. I was supposed to go for the indices a while ago. Yeah, so indices are not looking too hot either, are they? A big drop on NAS, big drop on S&P. So I do think it's a bit of a bearish climate here for the indices, and we're probably going to see more downside. I expect a correction pretty soon, but I think more downside is the likely move. So I'll be pretty bearish here on NAS. We've broken through this range here. What was it, 2,600? And of course, you've got the high of the range up there. Prices since broken through that with a lot of momentum. Last week, I wasn't too sure. We had a breakout, but it was like, was it really? But yeah, after this candle here, was that Monday? Yeah. Monday's kind of really made the statement that's okay, we're bearish now. So the plan for the indices or NAS 100 at least is definitely a bit of a correction at some point, but more downside. So pretty bearish on NAS, S&P. Pretty bearish on this one as well. Yeah, pretty bearish on S&P as well, expecting a lot more downside. If we can get a correction back into this area, that I think that'll be a really nice place for a short and catch a nice move to the downside from that point of view. US 30 hasn't quite broken through support just yet. Well, actually, let me rephrase that, it has broken through support. Not enough though, where I would look for a retest. I'm always looking for big breakouts before I do take any shorts on a retest of a level. I'm always looking for price to, you know, well and truly clear a level before I do look for a pullback. Then I'll look for a trade. If it just breaks through, sure, there are times where price would just break through a support level or resistance level, have a quick retest and be on its way. Not really my trade to take. Again, trading's all about specifics, finding opportunities, and being consistent with it. You know, whether you're looking for shallow retracements or bigger retracements, you know, pick your poison. But for me, I like the bigger ones because they're more assertive, and there's a good chance the price is going to follow that direction anyway. So I want US 30 to have a slightly bigger breakout before I would suggest the break and retest there, or potentially have a deeper pullback, which could be the case, especially if NAS and S&P go for a bit of a pullback. We'll probably see US 30 do the same. There is a brief range here, which I think is an area which price might come back for a retest around 43,200. That might be an area which we could short from as well, and see a bit more downside. But yeah, overall, US 30, I'm pretty bearish on. The breaker structure there is the most important thing. So we had the double top there, essentially price respect to the high a couple times. Now we've broken through some structure. Well, now the next big move is likely to be to the downside as well. So looking for a lower high and another short. So basically, I'm pretty bearish on the indices. Looking at the DAX, what we're saying over there. Okay, not so much on the DAX. The DAX is still very bullish, actually. It is definitely showing signs of slowing down because of how corrective we've been there in the last few days. So I do think we're getting ready for a nice sell. Um, However, yeah, it's not quite ready yet. We need to have a break of that range first before I would expect more downside. Otherwise, we could still see easily another swing to the upside there, given how bullish the DAX is. And UK 100, last time I checked, this one was falling quite aggressively. Yeah, looks like it's come back for a retest of the high there as well. Okay, we didn't quite see the pullback there, but we did keep falling. But yeah, since we have broken through structure here, might see a bit of a correction now, but we probably will get still short. But yeah, in terms of the major indices, it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good. Things are looking pretty bearish here. I think we'll probably see more downside. I would take a look at dollar CAD Lighten. Have not forgot. $100 a mil. Yeah, I mean, there has been people who have done that before, to be honest, and been fully verified. You've got those like crazy stories of like a grand to like 10 mil. But of course, the time horizon in terms of when they do that is like 10, 15 years or like a good decade. It's very rare to go from 100 to a mil in anything less than a year. Yeah. Of course, if you hit the right trades, then potentially it could work out. It is a probability game after all. Maybe the probability just lie in your favor a lot, but yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that topic. Okay, so let me go through dollar CAD. So yeah, USD CAD on the lower time frames, it's actually shaping up pretty well, I would say, on the hourly chart. Let me just move my position out of the way. So I would say it looks like we are shifting here because we've had some lovely bullish structure, nice higher highs and higher lows, and then it looks like things are shifting. Really nice head and shoulder pattern there, left head, right shoulder, and of course that's your neckline there as well. So I'm looking for price to now go and form a lower high. Perhaps we might have a slightly deeper correction. I'm looking at this kind of level here, taking that across. Was resistance once over there, support a couple times as well. You might see a slightly deeper correction and then potentially, didn't mean to do that. Slightly deeper correction and then potentially a sell there. Basically kind of continuing these lower highs. 1, 2, perhaps a third one in that area roughly. What is going on? There we go. And perhaps catch a sell like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in the hourly chart. It makes sense based on the market structure. Looks like we're kind of forming a head and shoulder there. We've snapped through the neckline. Now the idea is let's find the next lower high for another short. And of course, I'll be expecting a push back down into support here and more so back into the low there as well. So I like how we're developing here on the hourly chart. It looks like things are slowly shifting bearish. In terms of a trade idea, that's kind of what I'll be looking at. Perhaps a nice push to the upside this afternoon and maybe some nice sells late in the afternoon. If we do break through that area, then I would step back from dollar CAD shorts in the lower time frames, perhaps, or making another push back to the high there. So I'd watch out for that. But yeah, very bearish here on dollar CAD in the lower time frames, and as long as we can respect this kind of 1.441 area, I would expect to see another drop for dollar CAD. And of course, I'm still currently short on it, so that would be nice if we could see that move. Oh, that is not what I meant to do. There we go. So yeah, still pretty bearish on dollar CAD. Again, very bearish on USD. However, I feel like dollar is probably going to retrace soon. So that might mean some bullishness for USD, of course. Again, I still expect it to be retracement, but how big of a retracement will it be? Is it going to be a slow one and then we drop, or is it going to be a pretty hard one, which I think is still pretty reasonable, given the fact how aggressive we sold off last week. So yeah, I kind of do expect to see some USD strength coming into the market. So we'll see how much strength. But yeah, I still think the bigger move is still very much down. So that is my expectation. Of course, yeah, of course, definitely great. I mean, I think in terms of the reality, is definitely is the focus of it is definitely marketing. Um, so yeah, definitely A plus for that. Okay, so in terms of crosses, not really interested in any of these guys, to be honest, in terms of my personal trading. Of course, they've been so bullish. We've had really big moves to the upside. Expect retracement, but from where? That's the big question. I'm looking to the left for these guys, and I'm not really seeing much to work with. So it's just a situation where the market is exploding to the upside, expecting price to retrace, but don't know where it is going to retrace from, or where we're likely to. If it does pull back, there's some really nice areas for some buys. We broke through this zone here very aggressively, yet to use it as support. So that would be a nice place for a buy. Pound NZD. I like this level here as well for a buy here too. That looks really nice there. Probably some entries on the 4-hour chart. Pound Aussie, something similar as well. Lovely break to the upside, left behind some nice levels here. That'll be a nice place for a buy too. So there's some really nice clean areas for longs on some pullbacks. However, we're nowhere near those areas. So especially for this week anyway, because it's already Thursday, there's no kind of point really looking at those levels just yet, because there's a very slim chance we make it there before the end of the week. But yeah, very bullish markets. They definitely need a correction. Same with EuroCAD and PoundCAD too. They definitely need a correction. But yeah, it's difficult to short it where you don't really have a level to base trade from. Just living, would love to be virtual assistant whenever you're ready. Okay. Like I said, I'll keep an eye on that. Thank you for the offer, but um, yeah, not really interested at the moment. But if I do need a virtual assistant, I'll definitely think of you. So I appreciate the offer. Join the Discord. Just living. Join the Discord. So keep in touch. The link to it is in the description. Lighton, no problem, man. Haven't backtested New Zealand CAD, but it's waiting for a real trade though. I can type demo. Maybe it'll go in small buy setup and see it working. Yeah, I mean, again, if you haven't traded a market before, it's not normally the best idea just to jump straight in, especially from a psychological standpoint. You might be a little bit more nervous, which means you might not see out your trade or see out your plan as you should do. If I was just to go and take a random trade on platinum, which is a market I've never traded before, I probably will be a bit more on edge as normal. I've been trading for a while, so I probably just would treat it as any other market, to be honest. But yeah, especially if you haven't traded on it before, you want to get used to it a little bit, and trade it a little bit. You don't necessarily have to go demo. You can just go back test it. Test your ideas on a few setups, get comfortable with it. NZD-CAD is just like any other Forex pair. It's a bit more on the choppy side of things. That's one of its characteristics. It's a bit more choppy, but it moves like another FX pair really. So if you've got experience trading FX majors and minors, should be all right with it. Virtual girlfriend. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn that one down, but I appreciate the concern there, Matt. Yeah, we're not in that situation there. So yeah, I mean that's kind of it for the crosses. Of course, you've got Euro Pound, which is at okay area for a short, but not really interested, to be honest. It's a bit more of a choppy pair. Don't really have a clean entry for that one. Aussie New Zealand dollar, not really a big fan of this one at the moment either. Very, very choppy, just moving sideways a lot of the time as well. So until I see momentum, I'm not really going to be looking for anything here for AUD and ZD. CHF pairs I do like a lot. Of course, I still do have a small position on CHF. I'm just trading. I am still pretty bearish across the board for CHF pairs, so potentially some pullbacks on them I will be interested to take, but it just does depend on how everything sets up. New Zealand CHF I like a lot because I'm expecting price to push into the wick low here. We're not too far away, but if we can get another pullback beforehand, I will definitely keep a lookout. I don't really have a clear-cut level of where I want to short from though, so that's where it's a bit awkward. I like the trend line here connecting the highs, but that's going to have to be a pretty big pullback for us to make that a reality there. But I like the idea there for New Zealand CHF. As I said, I'm currently shorting Aussie CHF as well, so I'm gonna let that just do its thing. Hopefully, I can trail my stop loss pretty soon past that point there, but we'll see. CAD CHF actually made new all-time lows recently, so this one I'm not really interested in shorting anymore. This was the previous all-time low. You can see we just about wicked below it, just about wicked below. But drag it across actually, see a little bit better. So new all-time lows there for CAD Swiss. Probably a pullback is going to be happening pretty soon. So not interested in shorting that one. Pound CHF is just all very, very awkward. It's looking like we've broken out, but it's just not clear if we have. So yeah, not interested in trading this one just yet. Perhaps if we can start to hold this as support, maybe the buys become a little bit clearer. But yeah, not a big fan of pound CHF and euro CHF. Yeah, I don't really know what this one's doing, to be honest. We respect the support pretty well. You know, are we putting in another lower high? Maybe. Not too sure. Not too sure. So I'm just going to stay away. Again, when I look at a market, I'm not clear. When I don't have a clear kind of outlook, the best thing to do is just sit on your hands. Sometimes you feel the need to have an expectation of what you expect the market to do, or what you think the market should do. You don't ever want to have that that feeling that you need to have a bias, because sometimes the market is just all over the place, and it's best just to be neutral. And Euro CHF is one of those markets for me, at least. Yes, the overall trend is bearish, so naturally I would be bearish on this one, but I don't really have an opportunity to short it, and not really an opportunity to buy either. And then, of course, you got your lovely dollar CHF, which I like as well. This one I'm looking for a big swing back into support at 0.84. There's some solid resistance in this area here. Lovely trendline not confirmation, confluence there as well. So looking for a pullback into that area, and hopefully I can find some shorts maybe later this week potentially, or if not early next week. But again, another USD pair which I'm looking to short, just needs some retracement. That is the story of the USD pairs really for me right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do this afternoon with the news and all. I will be live again with Trader Nick this afternoon. I think actually at 12:30 now, because of course the clocks went forward, I think it was in the US. Yeah, they went forward. So yeah, I'll be going live around 12:30 UK time. So yeah, not 12:30, sorry, 12:45 UK time. Dollar CHF still my entry, so I'm going to close and wait for MA. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, if it hasn't fit the plan yet and it's not doing much, closing the trade early is probably the best shout, to be honest. I mean, I'm still pretty bearish in dollar CHF as well. It's just I want a bit more retracement, which may come into fruition, or maybe we don't see it. But judging the DXY, it looks like the DXY is probably going to have a bit of a move to the upside pretty soon. So if the dollar is going to push up, it's probably going to drag dollar CHF with it. The only question is how far. How far do we retrace? But yeah, still pretty bearish in dollar CHF, and expecting a pretty big move to the downside. We get a notification for that live too. You have to subscribe and hit Nick's bell on his channel, because it's going to be on his stream, not my stream. I'll be live again on my stream tomorrow, same time as always, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. So I will be live again tomorrow. But for Nick's stream, it'll be on his channel. So if you just search Trader Nick on YouTube, his channel should come up. And yeah, you want to subscribe to his channel and hit the bell as well. And yeah, that will give you the notification for that live, which will be in about 45 minutes time from now. Yeah. So hopefully that confirmation could come pretty soon, but I'm looking to short it as well. So hopefully you find some entries pretty soon. Hey, no problem, Lord. Happy to help. But yeah, guys, that does bring us to the end of the stream. I do really appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, chatting with us, sharing ideas, having a good time, and of course, just having a good time, and of course, learning a thing or two as well. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you tuning in. If you have enjoyed the stream, please be sure to leave a like on the way out. It does really help out the streams. And of course, hit the bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. That helps growing the channel as well. So I do really appreciate that. And of course, check out the Discord to Elevating Traders if you haven't done so already. Link to that in the description below and also at the top of the chat. You can find updates there. You can join discussions, chat with other traders, share ideas there as well. I do share ideas there too. So if you're looking for any other information or just want to see what people are looking to trade or share your own ideas, you can join that Discord and check out more information. So links in the description and also at the top of the chat. But guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, we'll be live again in about 45 minutes on Nick's channel. So go check out that stream. If not, I will be live again on my channel, this channel, 10 a.m. UK time tomorrow morning. So be there or be square. But guys, appreciate it. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.